video, I'm going to be talking about the signs that you are ready for marriage. Okay, I would like to say this. What actually qualifies you for marriage are some qualities that are required in marriage. Like marriage is like just a trip and you are going for a transaction. There must be some requirements and of course you should be going with something. So what actually qualifies you for it, or when we can say that you are ready for marriage, is when you have the qualities, the basic qualities. Like you can't have everything before going into marriage, but there are actually some necessities. There are some things that are basic. We call it foundations, yes. So these things, when you have them, of course, that's when we can say that you are ready for marriage. It's not about age, it's not about time, it's not about the environment you are. It's about having the necessary qualities that you need for where you are going to, which is marriage. So let's look at the qualities that you need to have and can actually say that, yes, I am ready for marriage. I can actually handle what I'm about to go into, or I'm ready for this. So that is it. If you've not subscribed to my channel, please click on the subscription bell below. So before you go into marriage, one thing is very important. You must have tried out a relationship. We call it dating relationship or courtship relationship. It's very important that you must have tried out this thing, because you can't just be going into marriage without knowing what it's all about. It's about relationship. It's about meeting someone different from you, someone that is an opposite sex, someone that doesn't just think the way you think. You know, if you're a woman, you're meeting a guy, and if you're a guy, you're meeting a woman. So these are two different personalities, and dating gives you the opportunity to learn this person, like how they behave, how they react to things, to opportunities, and to challenges. And in the process of dating, you might have, learned some few things about them. So let's now assume that you are already in a dating relationship before considering marriage, because you can't jump the ship. You can't just wake up one morning or one day and just decide to get married when you have not thoroughly experienced what dating relationship is all about, or what courtship is all about. So the basic signs, number one, is that you must have practiced what commitment is all about. Commitment is one thing you cannot do without in marriage. So do you have what it takes to be committed? Are you ready for commitment? Have you practiced it while dating? Like, have you really been faithful, with commitment while you are courting someone or dating the person? Maybe previous relationship didn't work out, probably because of the person or maybe a mistake or something. But the most important thing is that you have to go back to a review. How did you manage that relationship? Was there commitment from you? Because the review now should be channeled to you, like should be keep the focus on yourself, because we are checking you out to be sure that you are ready for marriage. So you should have been able to practice commitment. So if in your previous relationship, or maybe in your current relationship right now that you are dating, you have not been able to practice commitments, you struggle with commitment and faithfulness, of course you are not ready for marriage. Yes, because commitment is one of the vital things that helps marriage to be successful. So the next one is your ability to share information. Like in marriage, you can't just be there without experiencing the other person, and the other person also, your partner also experiencing you. So you can't just be in marriage without sharing information. So are you willing to share information? With your experience, the person you are dating right now, or the person you are in a relationship with right now, how good are you with sharing your information? Like, you have to be free. Some people don't like sharing. Some people are very, very conservative. They just want to be themselves. They don't want to. They keep secrets a lot, and of course, that is not going to work for someone that is intentional about marriage. So, if you really want to succeed in marriage, or you think you are ready for marriage, you have to come out for information, communication. You can't do without communicating to the person. So communication must be intentional, even when you don't feel like it, because that is the only way you are going to work in unity. You can't work in unity with someone you are married to, except there is a free flow of information, and it has to do with communication. So check yourself. Have you been really doing very well when it comes to communication? Check if you are, because if you are not, then you're not ready for marriage. So because it calls for communication, there's going to be transparency, there's going to, oneness in marriage is determined by communication. So check your ability to communicate. If you cannot communicate, it's a sign that you are not ready for marriage. Think about your goals and your values. It's very important. You can't probably work with someone who doesn't know you, who doesn't understand you. Yes, the person can know your person, your temperament, but doesn't know your goals, doesn't know your values. So you should be able to Be sure that the person you are dating right now or you're preparing to get married has what it takes to fit into your goals and your values. Like I always say this, protect your goals, protect your values, because that is what makes you who you are. That is your makeup, and that is what gives you that sense of existence. If you have found the person who is in line with you, who is on the same page with you, then you are ready for marriage. Take note of this. You don't just marry anybody. You don't just decide to work with anybody just because you think you are older, or you think you need help. You want someone to just be there for you, massage your emotions. It's much more than that. Marriage is way too far and too bigger than that. So check your values and check your goals. If you have not found someone who is on the same page with you, it is just very important that you decide to wait till you find the person. So it is not encouraging to move on with someone that is not on the same page with you. Rather be patient and wait for the right person to come, because it's really going to cost you a whole lot. You can't lose your value, you can't lose your goals, your vision. You know, this is your while you're living, you can't just lose all that just because you're getting married. So when you finally find this person who is on the same page with you, who understands your values, who is there with you, mustn't necessarily the person who is perfectly fitted into your life, but at least there should be a relationship with your goals and his or hers. So that is just the way it works. If you can't find that, then you are not ready for marriage. You don't just go with anybody that proposes to you or someone you feel you love. You know, it doesn't work like that. You cannot succeed in marriage. So that is a sign that you are not ready for marriage, when you have not found such person. But if you have found a person like that, then that is it. You don't need to suspend it. Just go ahead and prepare yourself and get ready to get into marriage. So finally is, are you ready to compromise and work through disagreements? This is where it gets hot when it has to do with marriage. So check yourself. So how do you go or get along with compromise and disagreement? Sometimes you disagree with the person you love, the person you're dating or courting, and you just be like, how does it go? Do you have to quarrel for a long time just because you disagreed yesterday? You have to maybe spend like 7 days, 20 days before you come back to the person again. That's a bad sign. I mean, that's a red flag. I mean, I mean, that's not it. If it's like that, then you're not ready for marriage. You should be able to walk through disagreements, you know, compromise and still be fine. Just, you know, get yourself together. So if you don't have the ability to compromise and walk through these disagreements and still relate with the person perfectly well, then you're not ready for marriage. So readiness for marriage is not just about what you think, how you feel, and all that. It has to do with someone. So when you have practiced relating with someone and it has really worked out fine, then you're ready for marriage. In marriage, you will often encounter a lot of disagreements, and sometimes you will need to compromise. So it takes wisdom, it takes someone that has capacity to really be there. So the sign that you're ready for marriage is that you have the capacity and the ability to compromise and have disagreements and still, you know, be fine and still work together without having or taking it personal, because it's the killer of it. So marriage is for a lifetime. I would advise you to take your time and really search out for these things that I talked about. If you have not gotten it all right in these basic areas, then you are not yet ready for marriage. So check yourself and prepare yourself and be sure that you have found the right person and you have really imbibed some qualities that is going to sustain you through the process of marriage. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more tips on marriage, relationship, and advices. Thank you. My name is Esther Christian. Drop a comment for me and subscribe if